Hello, Taurus, and welcome back to your extended. So, um, actually, no. Let me just go ahead and jump in. I was gonna kind of do maybe just a little bit of review. Maybe that's actually what is coming in here for you, Taurus, to kind of like review some things, because what I'm seeing here, we were talking about transgressions with the word, and it looks as though with maybe perhaps this one that is putting up a barrier between you and them, to protect their compassion. It has something to do with something that was said or something that was written, because behind him, he's holding his one wand. It actually might, this is very interesting because they actually might have been perhaps maybe like this other page of swords. They might have also been like this page of swords because they had that one wand, but there was something that was written or said that acted as a barrier between you and them, because in the background there are eight of wands is a message. It's a message. It's either a written or a spoken message. It can be, it can have a lot of energy behind it that ultimately can have some type of effect in transitioning from one point to another. Well, it transitions from the 7 to the 9 of wands. So the 7 of wands talks about defending your current position. This message comes in, and then now there is even more of a boundary that has been placed between well, this person and, I want to say, you, Taurus. And it had something to do with that 8 of wands, whatever was spoken or whatever was written or whatever was viewed to them as a transgression or as like an undermining. It's coming through as like an undermining of their position, right? This is very interesting because it's like you're actually feeling the same way. You're wanting a little bit of respect, and they're kind of, well, at least this one in particular is feeling like their position is being undermined. It's like they were in a place where they were following you and following by your example, but whatever was said or written or any of this stuff is like it's caused them to put up some type of boundary between you and them. It might not be something that is going to be spoken aloud. It's like it's an unspoken boundary, or that's that silence. There's some type of silence that is being characterized. It's like you might just notice it because they're quiet around you now. They're not quiet. And then with this one, it's like you might notice it because they can't look at you. They can't look you in the eye. But I do think that this one is having an effect where they're kind of coming in and they're like, they're helping to change the direction. The Page of Wands usually talks about a new adventure. So they're actually seeing this, how all of this, they actually might be seeing it a lot better than everyone else. They're seeing this as a new opportunity to develop something that hasn't yet been discovered or learned. They're learning, right? They're learning from your example. And so they're seeing it as a good direction for this group. And so they're kind of, it's almost like they're trying to help to sway their, to help to sway them from their own reality of how they see the situation. You know, they're trying to give them a new perspective. And the reason why these ones would want to stay within that reality of, I don't know, like they need to build boundaries up against you, or perhaps maybe they just need to leave the situation altogether, is because it has something related to do with their, because it's in the legs, the red is in the legs, it has something to do with their stability or their security. It's like their security or their stability, perhaps maybe even in their position. It's like it's turning everything over. It's, and this is actually very Taurian, because if you are wanting to establish something new, let's just call it like farmland. I'm actually looking for land here. um, it's right here. That's all. Like I knew I knew I saw it. They're looking, right, looking for rows. If you're wanting to establish a new crop in your fields, a new crop being a new way of being, a new way of presenting yourself, a new way of the collective itself presenting it to the masses, there has to be an overturn of the soil. And that can look very destructive. And it might make people feel insecure about their positions, or kind of nervous or scared, or whatever that may be. But really what's happening here is that you as the Taurian energy is coming through and plowing the fields. You're plowing the field and turning the soil over, because you need the soil to be turned over so that you can plant new seeds. And the new seed is this Ace of Cups that's beginning your reading. There's something, I can feel a lot of things on my, there is something, it's like a hair, or I don't know, I feel it all over my arm. The new seed here is this Ace of Cups. You know, I'm even seeing this here as this tiny, tiny little seed. This Ace of Cups is the newest offering that the group as a team is going to be presenting to others. Because what I'm seeing here is like all of your hands, it's almost like everybody's hands has to be in the mix of this overturn. Maybe there are some that don't want to put their hands in, or like the hands are talking about doing the work to actually make this happen, whatever that outcome or goal is. And in the process of turning that over, putting the seed in, and then watering it with this Ace of Cups, it's like there's a hope or a future visualization that there will be those who are going to be coming to this place to receive the benefits of what this team has to offer. But this is of course like a future potential. So it seems as though it does require everyone to be on the same page. And with the Two of Wands that's being, not Two of Wands, the Two of Swords that's being here presented here. This is talking about how not everyone is on the same page. Everyone is not on the same page. There are some, right? Like this one who understands what's going on. They're kind of doing they're doing their best to sway the others into a more understanding of what is exactly going on. But there is a little bit of, it's coming through as like a stubbornness of not wanting to see this as a new opportunity. It's like I'm seeing that you are presenting this cup. Okay, so this is really interesting because it's like you're presenting this cup to this Two of Swords, which is showing up as, okay, hang on. Hang on, everything's like turning over. All right. So you are, it's like now I'm actually seeing you as being in this Two of Swords, which is talking about you here. This is very interesting because if you are showing up as this King of Swords, this King of Swords kind of, he lacks, truth of the matter is that the King of Swords lacks compassion. He lacks empathy. And that's not necessarily a bad thing because the King of Swords has to be able to make decisions that are pivotal for the entire group, and sometimes decisions that need to be made can be perceived as harsh. But at the end of the day, the King of Swords makes those decisions because ultimately it's the best for the entire group, even if there's a little bit of kickback or pushback on that decision that is made. So with you showing up as the Two of Swords, I want to, especially with everything that was just said, I want to say, like, if you get to a point where you don't want to make a decision because you're worried about how perhaps maybe the others might perceive it, or how they might perceive you as compassionless, or maybe perhaps being more of a rational thinker, having more logic, don't let that stop you from making that decision. Perhaps, though, you could tailor it in a different way. It's kind of talking about how, remember how we were talking about this message or whatever was written or said, put a barricade between you and another member of the team? It's like understanding how to use words in such a way that deliver your message of firmness and respect, while also holding an energy of compassion. And with the Knight that's coming up here as well, the Knight, it talks about comfort, while also holding an energy of comfort and compassion. And that's a very fine line to be presenting. It's like when you decide to say certain things or do certain things or make certain decisions, don't forget the heart element. Don't forget this part, the water element, or the love. Don't forget the love. Don't forget the love. That's what it's coming through. The love and the comfort. It's like a lot, I often say that I see this cube here as as sugar. Like add a little bit of this is very interesting. A spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. You know, Mary Poppins coming in here with a beautiful, I don't know, is that an idiom or an allegory or whatever that is? Yeah, so that's what this is talking about. You can deliver the same type of message, but in a different way that is more palatable. And that is what's going to, because this Two of Swords is kind of playing double duty, that's what's going to allow these ones who are refusing, it's like they're very stubborn, very stubborn and refusing to see that the direction that you're wanting to take them is actually, it's actually a good direction. It's a good direction that you're wanting to take them in. Because if you are in a place where you're being respected for all the things that you do, all the things that you provide, you know, the leadership aspect of this team, it's like all of that trickles downhill. It's this trickling part. It's like if you yourself are watered, and you're watering your own cup, and you are like a part of knowing that you deserve respect is self-love. So as you are watering your own cup, all of that overflow is going to trickle down. It's going to trickle down, and they then also will feel respected in their position as well. And it's like that's where this disconnect is that in the beginning stages of establishing respect, everyone feels disrespected. It's very interesting. But it's like all of that, it seems as though all of that is going to there is a course correction. Because what I'm seeing here is, you know, we had that one that is looking like they're going to be like, all right, I'm out. Like they don't want to deal with this change, this turnover. What I'm seeing here with the Six of Cups is that they're starting to realize the familiarity between perhaps maybe how you're feeling and how they're feeling. It's that like it's that I'm it's the it is the I'm feeling disrespected, and then you realize that, oh, they're also feeling disrespected. So it does take a bit of effort on everyone's part to this is coming through as like playing nicely together. But once that it's like once that just a little bit of turnover happens, it all kind of just sorts itself out, because these two sixes here, the sixes talk about everything rebalancing, everything coming back into balance. And you know, when we think about balance and we think about the polarity, because there are two polarities here. You know, this one being uh, removing. This is like removing yourself, and this is coming together. So with these two polarities of like balance, if you will, or different aspects of what would be able to come back into balance, it's like you kind of have to have this moment here. You have to have an unbalance in order to create balance. Otherwise, balance wouldn't exist itself. And so that's why temperance is here. Temperance talks about, it's really interesting that this is temperance and not justice, because you would often think of justice as being balance, but justice is the process of establishing balance. It's the reorder, the establishment of this is what the balance looks like, and then it falls into place. The temperance, on the other hand, is the continual maintenance of that balance, and it has to flow back and forth seamlessly. Whereas the justice can be a bit harsher, the temperance energy in establishing balance is a lot softer. It's a lot more softer. And with each pass, as the energy moves, because it's like I'm seeing this as two sides of the polarity or of the balance, or the, what I'm saying. And as the energy moves from one side to the other and back and forth, it is helping to actually cleanse both of these sides, because there's something in this part here, this playing aspect, or being so close and intrinsically tied together, that is also, in a sense, not in balance. This is also not in balance either. I'm just noticing how all of these are primary colors. It's like the primary. It's almost as if they should all be presented in the same card. They're all primary colors. So if you were to have one of the colors be separated from the others, there would be that imbalance. So it's like this one needs to come back in to create this balance. Anyways, but as the maintenance of this balance continues to wash back and forth, it's the application of heart energy, of love, of comfort, maybe even for you, Taurus, perhaps maybe determining how to speak in a different way so that things are not taken out of context, or they're not experienced too harshly. It's like that's what's going to establish this balance back in order. It's like everything, like when that happens, everything starts to fall back into place. It's not necessarily something that needs to be like like determined, or it's wanting to come through as something that is very soft and subtle. It's like all of the, I will say this energy here is, it's just like it's kind of like a different approach. You need a different approach, and the approach that would benefit you the most seems to be one of comfort, but not in a way that is going to like allow those to like run all over you, if you will. There's a way to go about things that would bring about the response that you are looking for. while also retaining a sense of playfulness or love energy, things like that. There is a message here towards the very end of your reading that's talking about, you know, whatever space this is. Like, I'm seeing these two children outside of the home. They're going in this space here, whatever this building is, perhaps maybe the building that all of these people are within. The Knight talks about cleansing the space with like sage or incense, something like that. Oh my gosh, that's what this was. It's like, remember how you were coming in like a storm? The other way to do this, the other way to oh my gosh, this is really good advice. The other way to neutralize the atmosphere is to go into that space and cleanse the energy. Cleanse the energy of that space. Like, it needs to be completely neutralized in order for you to establish, well, it's actually coming through as establish the new reality that you're wanting to bring into that space. Because it's like everybody here is on this red reality, this other reality, and you're kind of in a different reality, and that's what's causing the tension between all of the people in this group. And it's like, if you were to just neutralize the entire space, it brings, that's what this is, it's bringing in the maintenance of balance, and it's going to help to merge and blend the two realities into one. And then it's like everything is just going to kind of like fall into place. That's how I'm seeing it. It's like everything is just like falling into place. All right, Taurus. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your energies. Yeah, I'll see you next time.